Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Head over to audible.com/cheatcodes for your free audiobook.
Commander, we've done what we could for Garrus, but he took a bad hit. The docs corrected it with surgical procedures and sub-cybernetics. Best we can tell, he'll have full functionality, but...
Shepard.
Tough son of a bitch. Didn't think he'd be up to it.
Nobody would give me a mirror. How bad is it?
Hell, Garrus, you're always ugly. Slap some face paint on there, no one will even notice.
Ha! Don't make me laugh. Damn it. My face is barely holding together as it is. Probably for the best. Everyone is always ignoring you and hitting on me. Time for you to get a fair shot at cheat codes.
Thanks for giving me a shot, brah. Bro for their life. Okay, we'll see. It's November 1st, 2017. Welcome to episode 155 of the Cheat Codes podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We're glad you're here. The next hour is us drinking a few beers and going over our favorite topics from the past week in video game tech and pop culture news. We're coming to you from the good ship Normandy, somewhere in the Milky Way, doing our best to fend off Reapers, a pretty devastating genophage, and just, the end of all life as we know it. Don't you worry, citizens of 2017. This just happens a couple hundred years in the future. So, my name is Alexandra Commander Shepard Lucas, and this is my favorite spot on the Citadel. I'm your intrepid Spectre, and I'm joined by my pretty rad crew, some of whom may or may not be romanceable ladies. So first we have Cheat Codes producer and editor, Mr. Joe Cadenlenko Arroyo.
Hello, I am romanceable.
Yeah, just for clarification. And Cheat Codes Corp analyst, Mr. Joe Garrus Vicarian Erskine.
I have a cool one-lensed glass over my eye. It's good.
Gotta love the scars also.
That's true.
And I romance both of those characters, to be clear. Back and forth. It's difficult. Yes, the characters. To be even clearer. And we welcome back to the show a crazy security lady, gamer, builder of crazy props, film and photography, and mad member of the at Liquid Tabletop D&D crew, Scotland Symons.
Hey, how's it going? I am a romanceable character, but only unlockable if you buy the extra content during the seasonal promotion.
That's
a
just
very unclear window.
It's a very unclear window, but if you do purchase the unlockable seasonal holiday window extra character, you will get an original song by the what did we come up with the name? The Vagaholics.
Vagina Walkabout.
Vagina Walkabouts.
And their debut single,
Vag Originals.
Aboriginal.
Vag Originals.
Oh my god.
No, seriously.
I apologize to the entire western side of Australia.
It includes sound effects like didgeridoos and all sorts of good stuff. It's really worth it. I don't know what season it actually is going to come out, but if you're ready for it anytime, you can just purchase it.
It's in a loot box somewhere.
It's in a loot box.
Follow and retweet, and we'll see about it.
So look for that Jack loot box in Andromeda somehow, even though they're not releasing any DLC. Sad face. One little tear.
Are you sad though?
Moving on.
Yeah.
On this episode, we'll manipulate energy to throw our enemies across the room as we sort out the following. First, Activision has patented a matchmaking system to encourage more microtransactions. Sigh. It also turns out that some RuneScape players out there farm gold just to stay alive. Literally. And GameStop hopes its Power Pass subscription service will help it bounce back from rough holiday sales during the last fiscal year. And for the lightning round, Joe Arroyo will hand out credits, Spectre gear, or maybe even a whole flotilla for our efforts to make sense of these quick topics. First, journalists and corporations are revisiting the possibility of making a good movie based off of a video game. We have thoughts on that. And MIT's Shelley AI, named after, of course, the author, is writing horror fiction, and wow, what a surprise. It's pretty perverse. So get hyped for that. Welcome back to the show, Scotland.
Hi.
Yeah.
How's it going?
So good to have you.
It's nice to be had back. I really, really appreciate it.
What are you up to? Yeah.
Crazy stuff. I mean, and this last month was kind of a bit of like normal life stuff. I ended up moving to a different part of town, and that embraces all of the fun garbage that comes with moving. And missing stuff, and I have no idea where anything is in my house. But that's good.
Great. Well, you
Probably in a box.
It is. That's actually what I ended up making my Halloween costume at.
Just a box?
No, I took cardboard boxes.
What was it?
Like,
Trash
I'm a box
Witch?
for all of
It was the Trash Witch.
Witch?
I don't. Okay, so if anyone's familiar with Holly Conrad, she is one of the characters that plays on Dice Camera Action with Chris Perkins. It's one of the big D&D games. And she has a character on there. It's like she just plays a witch, and she kind of plays on it being a trash witch. So I took it to the next level and made that costume out of 100% trash.
Brilliant.
Good for you for recycling.
I did recycle. The thing that was really amusing was the parties that I ended up going to. I started collecting more trash.
So you were like a trash witch magnet?
It was like a trash witch compactor. I just kind of kept adding trash.
Well, that's kind of how gravity works, right? Like, as you gain more mass, you inevitably end up drawing more mass to you.
I was waiting for it to be a Katamari.
Katamari, the trash.
situation.
That's what I was going to
roll
say.
around and pick it up.
Yes.
At the party, though, I mean, they must have been really confused. You're like kind of the trash bandit. Like, you just run out there with the whole bag. Like, you just
No, I just
I'm out of here.
like I'm wearing this gigantic. Or so let me paint the picture for the viewers at home. So I'm wearing this giant cardboard witch hat. Like, it's gigantically, freakishly huge. It looks like something out of I don't know, something out of World of Warcraft in the terms of like the style of
Scale and proportion. Yeah,
stupid fucking hat. And I had a little staff with a pizza box half moon on it, and I had this shawl made out of trash bags that are just weave trash bags.
Perfect.
And people were like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "I'm a trash witch. Can't you tell?" They're like, "Yeah, you're wearing trash," and I'm like, "Yep."
Hence the trash part of the witch equation here. Yeah,
You had a hat though. You had a witch hat on to tie the
we
witch
should
part
show
together,
you what
right?
we did with cardboard boxes for our Patreon video. There's a certain solidarity.
I
there,
endeavor to see.
Yeah.
Well, the costume ended up getting a little bit better because on actual Halloween, I ended up just dressing up in a panda onesie and painting my face and stuff like that. I went to the dentist that way.
Oh yeah, I saw you're like literally in the chair, like, hey, thumbs up.
Yeah, so they're putting me, they're doing injecting all this stuff, and they put me on nitrous, and I'm like, wow, this is weird. I'm a panda, and there's dentist nitrous, and then I don't know what's going on. So I came home later, and then I cross mixed the two costumes and turned myself into a trash panda witch.
Trash panda witch.
But
Wow.
that's been recently.
Oh yeah. Well,
So nothing is going on, is what you're
Congrats.
saying. That's active. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
well, as a refresher, Scotland's Twitter is at level 2-3 with the digit 2 and then 3 spelled out.
I know it's confusing, but everyone,
If you can't figure it out, you don't deserve to check.
to follow.
Yeah. Right.
there's a little bit of math. It's part of the special seasonal package.
God. Coming soon with the Jack DLC.
Yes.
Okay. So really quickly, we'll talk about what we're drinking on this very Mass Effect N7 themed episode in anticipation. So whether you're throttling indoctrinated banshees or clumsily managing a Garrus Kanan love triangle, like some of us in this room, you're... Oh my God.
That's
You're-
right. Achievement
right.
unlocked.
I'm looking at you, buddy.
I was gonna say.
Got my eye on you.
dog? Yeah.
What up? You're probably going to want a strong drink. I know I do on hand. Oh my God, while you do it. This week, we're drinking some Rolling Fog IPA from Way Out West Brewing. It's not Dr. Chalkwiss's Cerise Ice Brandy, but it'll do to get you through some pretty cold nights in the vast darkness of space. Jesus. Okay, let's get going before Edie and Joker start doing some awkward flirting again.
Oh, but that's the best part.
It is pretty cute, but it made me think about things I didn't want to think about.
Duh.
AI sex, everyone. All right, so...
Number one.
All right, I apologize for this in advance. All right. Activision, make me a match. Find me a squad. We'll loot a cache. All right, that's over. I did it. I'm sorry.
That was also on the Vagina Adventures single.
We still haven't settled on that name, have we? Okay.
Vagina Walkabout,
Vagina
our first
Walkabout.
single. Oh my God. Anyway, Brian Crecente at Rolling Stone reports that Activision locked down a patent this month for a system that matches players up for multiplayer matches based on certain factors, which include skill level, internet latency, availability of friends, and more. They also outlined how the system could be used to better convince people to purchase game items via microtransactions. So here's a quick example. Their microtransaction engine could pair... I know, it just sounds terrible off the bat. Could pair an expert player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases in order to catch up with said expert player. This engine can also help Activision better determine which items they should promote and give them the ability to drop players into matches that specifically enable them to use the items they purchase more effectively. So, I mean, there could be some benefits to players, she said very cautiously. But Activision is being... I'm seeing some head shaking already, so this is going to be fun.
No, you're not.
Activision is being transparent about doing this, I guess, given this release. And it's still a little slippery, though, since in-game sales are a huge chunk of Activision's take. So last year, they said they earned $3.6 billion from in-game sales, up even more from $1.6 billion in 2015. And this is reminding me of loot boxes. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone seen the Call of Duty World War II loot boxes yet?
No.
Oh,
Tell us of them.
Do they include originals like, Vagina Walkabout?
It's more if you're lucky, and if you buy the seasonal pass from whichever season we have not said out loud on this episode.
soon, real soon.
Oh, right, the real soon season. The social space in Call of Duty World War II, the place where you open your loot boxes and hang out with friends and stuff, is the beaches of Normandy.
Oh.
And the loot boxes, I'm not kidding.
What
The
the
loot boxes drop out of the sky,
and
you open them on the beach, just like in World War II.
It's like a fucking party for the...
That's disgusting.
What?
Well, what's the context? Hold on. What's the context? Because
What do you mean? What's
what?
the context?
Is it like Normandy
not-
before all the bloodshed? You
right?
know?
Or
Like-
is it like they've already taken the beach and it's them kind of setting up camp and like I guess 'cause
I
there's
don't
ways I
care.
feel like that seems
No.
that it might be possible.
I don't think there's
I
any
appreciate you
context.
trying to find
I'm
the-
playing devil's advocate a little bit here, but I'm trying because I remember obviously everyone remembers Saving Private Ryan, and this is Call of Duty Saving Private Ryan, cool. But when they take the beach, that's like one of the great cinematic moments in history, obviously, and the people that lived through it, I can't even imagine. But when it comes to the beach itself, like afterwards, you see kind of like the sprawling, like all the all cargo ships loading up, and there's platoons forming, and there's like this giant organizational kind of mess, which is a oxymoron. But I guess that's the context I'm looking for. If it's that stage, then I guess that makes a certain amount of weak sense to me. I don't know, but
Isn't there like a time limit on like when things become appropriate again, or like joking? You can joke about them again, like 100 years or something.
there?
I don't know.
think so.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
That's a tough one. Oh, and we're looking at it right now.
There's a little
there it
image
is.
Oh,
of
thank
you
God for cards.
hanging out on the beach, and you're like,
Oh my God! No,
fuck.
come on! They
Oh,
drop
fuck.
from the sky. Like
Just
no.
trading cards next to your dead friends. That's
Christ.
really
okay.
that's
No.
happy.
So I digress from the point
Yeah,
of the
we kinda
actual,
lost it with that.
but you
Oh.
said loot boxes, and it reminded me of seeing that today and being like, oh, other things that suck.
That
There's
feels weird, man.
I want to know how that slipped through. Like, again, like stuff like this is like a couple people approve this, or like at a couple levels.
You don't need QA. It's fine.
Ugh. Just not even one person going like, "Hey."
I mean, I did
This
see a
is
camp
gross.
in the background there, so it is probably like you said, like it's post taking the beach,
Storming,
I guess.
the
But,
storming, yeah.
but like there's a lot of other places you could do that.
Can I throw something out there to qualify this whole Activision thing?
Okay.
Is that they've said that they have yet to put this in any of the games, and even Bungie has confirmed that this does not exist in the matchmaking system for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important qualification to make. That they developed this thing and they patented it, and they have yet to kind of use it
Because
as
they wanted
intended.
to patent it first.
Yeah, but there's just a lot of so thinking back to development days and thinking back to how this stuff works. If they filed for a patent for it, that means that they have a development design or they have a sketch up for how this is going to work. I mean, obviously the game industry has sold itself to microtransactions, especially in large big budget games, because if they're spending multi-millions of dollars producing a gigantic game and they sell it for $60 and then that's it, they're not making any money. So
Where's the revenue stream?
Yeah, there isn't any. So of course they're all going to the microtransaction world to do that. I just think that it's kind of gross.
It does feel a little gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something built to literally take advantage of people.
I mean, some of the more specific, some of the things I've read when people delve into sort of the psychology behind this, like the sniper example is the one they talk about in the article, but one that people have expanded. Like if you're just starting out and you play the sniper class a bunch, this can start sort of gathering that information about your player profile. And then when you start matchmaking, they'll always try and throw in like a sniper that has all of the expensive items into your match if possible. And if they do that, you're going to get your ass kicked, and then you're going to look at that sniper's profile after and be like, what shit does he have? Why am I not as good as him? And then you go get that shit for yourself.
But it's like the shittiest arms race ever.
No, yeah, it's awful.
I mean, I don't know that I don't hate microtransactions altogether. There's some games where it works, and I feel like it's fine. Like,
yes.
I like playing Hearthstone. I don't mind spending some cash on that. It's really no different than like going to the movies or drinking for a night or something like that.
Especially when you get the base game for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's fun. Like it's an expense I can validate. I guess when it comes to these weird shitty arms race, if you that's your jams and that's your game, I guess I don't hate it. But I can think back to these microtransaction systems and just I don't know. I think in ways that they're abusing it is just kind of jokey.
It does feel heavy-handed, and it definitely feels like it's not.
They could do it a little more naturally
for their player base.
It's
feels
clear
like
abuse because the whole point of matchmaking is to put you with other players that match your skill level, so that the experience is fair from both sides. But instead, they're using it specifically so that you lose and or get upset at this player who's specifically designed to be put in the game to beat you, so you feel like you
it
buy
just seems
something.
stupid,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like where I could see it working is like, okay, let's take Mass Effect, and you go to the Citadel, and let's say you could go shopping in the Citadel. That'd be kind of entertaining. You could buy my seasonal extra character pack.
Just saying. Yeah.
Arroyo, I think I agree with you, but I think at the same time, I think from again, devil's advocate, like there's a natural progression to this, like at least as far as like rational and objective thinking. To me, it's like, well, matchmaking is based on putting players together that are of like skill. But as soon as we start introducing like pay to win mechanics with microtransactions, there's a handful of people that are going to start buying that, and that's going to start skewing that matchmaking system. So this is the thing that kind of comes around the back door and says, hey, we're going to solve that problem by having a matchmaking system that is built around those pay to win mechanics. And
this is something that's making that worse, not better.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying that there's a progression to. There's like a train of thought that I feel like I can follow. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm trying to be objective about it to a certain degree, and I'd say like it makes sense to me why this even happened. Is all I'm saying. But I'm not saying I agree with it.
The progression of it should be the inverse of that. If you have a pay-to-win system, which you shouldn't have,
what it should be,
the matchmaking should take into account what items you bought that are giving you an unfair advantage, and then like basically putting that person in higher skill levels, even though they're not ready.
Yep.
So that they're playing against more skilled players.
It breaks matchmaking effectively.
It can't be based on pure like number of games you've played if you're buying something that makes you better than everyone.
I guess maybe it wouldn't be as bad to me as if they had different matchmaking games where you're sitting there and it's like, let's say you're playing championship play where they don't allow any of the secondary purchasable items. Then it makes it a little more interesting. Then it's like, okay, if you don't want to ever be affected by that, just play in that one.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was like, would they possibly do an opt-in, opt-out situation?
I feel like they should, but I feel like 9 times out of 10, from a production standpoint or development standpoint, you're not going to do that because you don't want to fracture your player base. You're going to put everybody under the same umbrella.
Yeah, when you give people a choice, then you're looking at like if you only have X number of concurrent users, now you have half that because half your players want to do one and half your players want to do the other.
In the long end game of this, it just feels like the only people that end up playing it are the ones willing to spend the money.
Also, no advertising-based matchmaking feature is going to be opted out. They're not going to let you, like, unless you want to pay a fee to not.
Oh my god!
Well, what I'm worried about now is that we're going to end up getting that mobile game thing where it's like, hey, for the next 24 hours, this little like special MTX like package of gear is like $5 off, so jump on it right now. You know
that
what I mean?
Guy you played last time had it. Like if it just like punches you in the face with it over and over
like,
again.
Hey, here's that kill cam again. You can watch him kill you. You know what I mean?
Remember how much you sucked last time? Right. Well, guess what, kid? You can be sucking even less now with the $5 off seasonal package sold only on Normandy Beach.
Oh my god!
Get there now.
That's right. Watch out for those loot boxes.
Watch out for those loot boxes. Even if you purchase it, it's not yours. You have to get to the loot box first.
That's right.
One of 3 of those loot boxes will be an epic item.
We're gonna tie one of your arms together with one other person and throw a knife in the middle. Enjoy your beat it video. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be great.
Well, one last thing I wanted to say is the fact that they patented it. Okay, why are they doing that? It is absolutely made public, right? So then everyone knows that they're doing it. And the fact that they haven't put it in themselves, this says to me they want to sell it. Like the goal is more to like make everyone else get it because it's the future.
Yeah, I don't really see that happening though.
I thought this was
I don't really see
discovered.
them selling it.
Because patents you can look up any.
Yeah, they're totally
public
public.
knowledge.
So I
Yeah.
actually thought that it's not that they were transparent; it's that someone saw the patent that was filed.
But they could have chosen not to. I mean, I'm saying like it was there
the
to
fact
be
that they're
found.
patented at all.
Yeah, like
Well-
Coca-Cola doesn't patent it, right? So then people can't know what their recipe is. I'm trying to examine
enough.
like why they would put it in a place where people could find it.
Probably because they were more worried that the state of the industry is a little less perfectly mapped out from a legal standpoint. We have people, suing people over game mechanics right now.
Well, that's
So,
that's why I think
you
they
know,
did it. I don't think it's like
It's more safety. Yeah.
and instead of protecting themselves to like get for people using it or whatever, it's more like they want to use it to sue other people in their microtransactions and how the way they set up.
Right.
Little column A, little column B on that one, I think.
As soon as they see some indie developer like trying to incorporate like MTX into matchmaking, they're like, sued.
Right.
Close it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it all down.
You and
Okay.
your vanilla WoW server, jackass.
Well, shit. I was trying to find something, but no, I can't. So
Sorry.
womp. All right.
Grumpy Joe had to come in here and
Grumpy Joe.
Get off my lawn.
It's okay. We still have a hit single, so
That's right.
Badge original. All right.
number 2.
What's the number of times we said vagina on this episode so far? I feel
Where-
like it's in the double digits.
Probably.
all right, ready? 1, 2, 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Vagina.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, great. All right.
It's like a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Vagina.
That
vagina.
Oh.
We'll get to didgeridoo again.
Oh my god. Okay. On
No, number 2.
number 2. On a more somber note.
Oh God. Bad timing.
Wow. Left turn.
Venezuela is not doing so hot. While it was once the wealthiest major economy in Latin America, Venezuela is now suffering from food and electricity shortages, with a significant increase in crime and unemployment as well. Ugh. In the face of this economic collapse, Nathan Grayson of Kotaku reports that desperate Venezuelans are farming gold in RuneScape to put food on the table. This technically illegal task brings in $15 to $20 US per week, adding up to, quote, double, sometimes triple, the average monthly salary in Venezuela. Jesus. The game runs fine on older hardware, and it also enables farmers to work from home and avoid getting robbed on the bus. Christ. In predictably shitty response, RuneScape players who aren't farming are pushing back, going so far as to create a guide to more efficiently kill and taunt gold farmers because farming, quote, fucks the game's economy. But gold farmers aren't cleaning up the way bots do. They usually work alone and farm manually week after week. To me, this is one of those, is it okay to steal bread to feed your family ethics questions? And since I'm not affiliated with RuneScape's developer, Jagex, the answer is really easy for me. But how do y'all feel about this?
This is tough. This is really tough.
I don't feel conflicted on this. I think it's totally legit for them to be farming to feed themselves because Venezuela's economy is horrific.
Yes. It's really weird because I watched the Parks and Rec episode where the guy from Portlandia, I can't remember his name at the moment, main dude.
Fred Armisen
plays the Parks and Recreation. The Sister City.
The Sister City one. It's a fantastic episode.
Right, in Venezuela, and I was like, or I guess it's Bolivia or whatever it is, but they are separate countries.
It's cool.
and
You're
I'm
all
not
right.
trying to.
You're right.
Sure
Onward.
It's okay. Just
But-
continue.
My point is it the way he talks about that economy in that episode is just like, we can do anything we want. We just do whatever the fuck we want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, anyway, that's all. I just thought it
Things
was
have
hilarious.
taken a terrible turn.
Synchronicity is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, clearly, because if you're playing RuneScape to make money, Jesus.
So farming does ruin the economy of a game. So we have to start there, I guess.
Objectively speaking, you are correct.
Yes.
It does. So I understand why there would be restrictions in place in general for like stopping farming bots and things like that. But I guess the question is, with a game that's that old, do people care that much to go as far as to like stop people who are doing it manually and barely making that much comparatively to like the overall economy of the game seems a little weird.
Yeah, it feels like a wasted effort, especially if this is a sustainable way for someone to make a little bit of cash and not get robbed.
Sure.
And have food.
I agree.
Like I don't see any logic problem here. I say that the little gamers that are griefing these people, I could care less about.
They have
your
no
argument.
concept. Like they probably have never not had food. And like in the article it said there are certain gold farmers who, if they don't do it for a day, they don't eat that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
I have no sympathy for any griefer on that particular avenue. I mean, yeah, okay, so I think the bots are the actual problem, because if anything, they erode the economy of the actual gold farmers that could probably use the cash. And
Doing it manually, so to speak.
Yeah. And let's be fair. I mean, this game is an entertainment factor. All games are entertainment factors. If you're super chuffed up about the fact that you're never gonna, you're
Have
not
a true RuneScape experience.
Yeah, your RuneScape experience is
RuneScape.
totaled. RuneScape. Hashtag RuneScape. Hashtag I got to eat today.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Mic drop. All right.
My
My heart.
The weird gray area for me is that, so the griefer problem, we can get to that because it's a little different. But for like the company that when they're going in and they're stopping farmers, they're doing it off of some kind of algorithm that like probably detects that farming is happening, and then they maybe like give them a warning or something. But at some point, they can't go checking the IP addresses and being like, oh, you're from Venezuela, we'll let you keep doing it. Like, so there's got to be this really weird situation that even the developers are in where they're like, we really cannot selectively say like you can and you can't farm, right? So they either need to let it all happen or they can't at all, right? I mean, in the interest of I don't know, being realistic in their own algorithms for detection.
Yeah, but I think like farming has happened in every MMO that has ever existed, period. And some games have done a good job of adjusting their economies to balance for it, and that's probably the best thing you can do. I mean, just like a real economy adjusts itself for drug money and adjusts itself for inflation of abuse of taxes and stuff like that. Like, this is just a normal thing. I just don't feel that.
I agree.
I think that's about as good a sum up as we could hope for.
And
that was well done.
I just feel bad for these people.
But no, for real. No, absolutely. It's a fucking... I hope I'm never in a spot where I have to play fucking RuneScape to feed my fucking family. Right. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I guess you have to... Like, if this outlet exists for people to fucking eat, then do everything in your fucking power to keep it going.
Can we hook them up with like better machines so they can play other stuff to like make money?
I think they'd prefer like a goat or something that's going to provide them with some sustainability as opposed to a better like laptop or computer. But maybe I don't know. Maybe you're onto something. I don't know.
Yeah. Prompt more robberies though. Like
that's true too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The rabbit hole on this just fucking opened up, man. Good grief.
Well, I noticed, at least I didn't see in this article, like hard figures on how many people are like gold farming in general in this game.
I did see that they were saying that the RuneScape Jagex was saying that they ban bot or otherwise farm up to 10,000 a day.
Christ. Okay.
I don't know how many people actually play RuneScape.
But
that's what I'm saying. I don't know
like,
what?
anybody that plays
I
that
tried that
playing.
game like a long time ago.
I see that game on like Imager like frequently, and I get that it's got some of this weird cult following, but like 10,000 people a day.
But isn't it super obvious like which ones are bots and which aren't?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a web-based game, right? Or it used to be.
I think it's still PC, or just like as an app as opposed to like a browser-based thing. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never played it.
The part of this article that just like tore my heart to pieces though was when they described the griefing communities and stuff like this related to it, because it's not a community of RuneScape players that got together to try and stop farmers. It's a community of RuneScape players that got together to stop Venezuelan farmers. So this is the part that really fucking hurts. You go to these communities, and they codename every Venezuelan farmer Pedro, and they say you go into the game
gross.
and you find your Pedros, and then when you find them, here's what you do to make their life miserable so that they can't farm. And so it's like, are you fucking serious? This means there's a whole community of players in this game that know exactly what these people need to survive in real life, and their whole goal is to stop them from doing that. Now, when shit like this arises, it's when I'm like, humanity sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Not even the digital versions of ourselves can be decent ones. Like, what the fuck?
Christ.
I'm so glad that you took the time to fucking shame other people to feel better about your shitty life.
I mean, it's like $4 a day, okay? Like, or that's for I'm thinking work week, I guess, but like $20 a week. Really, you're freaking out about that to fucking eat? Like, I can't. Even like the kids playing, probably they get that like an allowance.
And they did say that a lot of that player. This is not an excuse, but the player base is younger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's a younger player base, so yeah, there's a lot of fucking trolling. There's a lot of fucking just.
But it's still depressing
hateful
to
shit
see
for the
it.
sake of being just like
And
they
it
think
is,
it's a
yeah.
joke, but it's fucking. Hateful.
Go to any of those subreddits, and it's instantly depressing and sad and hard to stomach when you see that the kind of hate and vitriol from people.
Man. I gotta tell you, I hate games sometimes. This shit makes me hate games. Ugh.
Do you play like games where you interact with other people much, Scotland? Or
Wait,
you play, like solo games?
No, I play some MMO shit and stuff
Yeah.
like that too. But I mean, mostly I've been playing a lot of tabletop stuff now. So if you
At least you're in person. At least it's in person.
If you grieve me or say some awful shit, you're gonna hear about it immediately.
Fucking A. Good for you.
It just makes playing online games like not so approachable anymore. I know we talked about this last time I was here. I was like, that's one of the things I like about Hearthstone. Your interaction with other players is non-existent.
It's reduced to six fucking emoji, and you're done.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, humanity's kind of terrible. That's that article.
That's why we should all play games, right, guys?
And if you're feeling, maybe there's a way to donate to those folks.
I think
I don't know.
I think maybe more an objective thing, because there isn't a clear way to donate to people on these kind of things unless there's an actual charity that's validated. I think one way to fight it is if you see it online, don't participate with it and call it out for what it is. It's racist, horrible garbage.
It's bullshit.
And it's bullshit, and ask people to be like, don't do that. Why are you participating in that? Challenge it.
Yeah.
That's the way we beat this garbage, is we challenge it and don't let it stand.
If anything good's been coming from the last like couple months of our society, it's been that a lot of people who have been silent in a lot of different avenues have actually been challenging people. So hopefully that's the type of moral compass that will come out of this.
People are getting less afraid to speak up, man. That's a fucking good thing.
It's a huge thing.
That's a good thing.
Especially folks who have like the social capital or whatever, like who can do it safely. Like it's on you,
Right.
Even more so. People have that privilege. So if you're out there and you feel safe, please call people out in their bullshit.
Hashtag RuneScape, man. I'm not saying we wouldn't need to ruin the game, but like if you see somebody out there, like fucking, I don't know, give them some of your in-game gold or something. Like let them translate that shit.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
into some real capital.
If you're playing RuneScape, that's a good idea. Like, just like you said, give them gold. Just give them all your gold.
Whatever it takes for them to like change that into real Venezuelan currency. Like you meet a player like that, do whatever. Like, man, like I don't know. Grow an extra little space in your heart, man. Throw out some charity. Like,
help your fellow.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
Because not for nothing, like when it comes to gaming and building communities and stuff like that, that's the stuff that sustains. It's not tearing shit down. Like that's no.
Yeah.
No
uniting over teabagging or uniting over like supporting
buying
each other.
actual tea bags.
Oh, you forgot that
kind of
third
shit.
option. Thoughts and prayers. That's
No, don't
puke.
No.
Thoughts and prayers.
Number 3.
Yeah, maybe that's what number 3 needs.
Yeah.
Oh well. Here we go. Recognizing its dwindling numbers. So I stepped into a GameStop this past weekend, and I could have sworn I saw tumbleweed pass through. Like it was so quiet. Jesus. GameStop recently unveiled its Power Pass subscription. Great. So ONS Good from Polygon reports that the Power Pass will last for 6 months and run for $60, which is of course the typical cost of a new AAA game. Also, you get to keep one of the games when your subscription ends, which maybe isn't a bad deal, depending on how they restrict the games you can rent in the first place. So you have to be a Power Up Rewards member. And Power Up Rewards, it just sounds like 90s.
Make sure my power up is up so I can get my power pass.
And signups begin on November 19th and run through January 31st of next year. And you'll also only have access to their in-store physical disc library. And again, not sure how else they're going to limit it. But so you don't get access to their online store, which I would assume is more we'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. This is sort of a compromise between games as a product and games as a service. Interesting to talk about that. So finally, GameStop, which primarily provides used video games at a steep discount, has been struggling for some time now, including particularly abysmal holiday sales last year. This announcement still comes with a lot of questions, and so will this be enough to dig them out of their little financial sinkhole?
They could use a power up.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this
a buff, if you will?
Isn't this what Blockbuster did right before they just kind of closed the doors?
That sounds about right.
Dude, that's fucking that.
And the second point is, I don't even know where a GameStop is. I don't know that I've seen one in a long time.
There's one in every mall, and there's usually one outside of that mall for some stupid reason.
In the mall and outside.
You know what's really funny
is like it next to the lid at Lids and Orange Julius?
Yes.
I like the fact that when you still Google the Redmond Town Center, it shows it brings up the GameStop that used to be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not there anymore.
I just want some Orange Julius and some Sbarro pizza and
Sbarro's still around, isn't it?
I'm gonna get lids. I'm gonna get a new lid.
Well, it's worth noting that the Redmond Town Center GameStop is gone, but Uncle's Games is still there.
Right. I was just there earlier today.
But the GameStop that's outside of Redmond Town Center is still there, just so you know.
That's true.
And by outside, I do mean you can walk there from Redmond Town.
Wasn't it next to the Blockbuster?
Stop.
That's got to be like...
When I moved here, there were no Blockbusters.
Desolate blocks in the whole fucking...
Desolate Blockbusters?
I was trying to do something with lackluster, and it wasn't working. Blockluster? No, that's too good. Blockbusted!
So I read through this article, and honestly, like, on paper, this actually sounded kind of like... It sounds desperate. It does. Mm-hmm. But it also sounds kind of like, well, shit, this would have been cool back when I used to go to GameStop a lot. Like, you know what I mean? This sounds like a decent idea. Like I don't mind
how
riding this wave,
it works, but like right before it crashes into their own business.
Hey, you know what it is? It's a great way to get $60 and get rid of one of those used discs.
And that's over it's over what, 3 months or 6 months or something like that. Period for $60 doesn't just pay for a month. It's
6 months.
Yeah.
Right. It's half like so $120 a year.
It's cool. They're closing in 3 months, so.
Well, like
they're
going to gather them all up and then close.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how many can you take out at a time? All right, like I want to know all the restrictions and everything.
I think it's one.
Do you know why I still like GameStop? Is because there are people out there that actually still make physical copies of games, and I still like, and maybe this makes me an old man or something, but I still like having a physical copy of a game in my hand.
Yeah.
I have downloaded many games. I have used codes. I do that a lot. But there's something about it. Like, I want to see it. I want to fucking smell it. I want to put that disc in the fucking... I don't know. Most consoles I know, other than a Switch, like, still take discs, and I want to see that happen. I want to. There's a whole kind of ritual to it. It's
you
nice.
would not be a fan of the Destiny Collector's Editions, which come with a physical case, right?
And no game.
And you open it up,
no disc,
and because it would be more expensive for them to mass produce disc boxes without the disc slot, they put a fucking piece of paper in there.
Which is crazy.
No joke.
It's crazy to me too, because like I remember when Final Fantasy VII was 3 fucking discs. Remember that, like when they, like remember, like like the game card, like the game sleeves or whatever were like double wide, because they like you couldn't cram all that content onto one fucking disc, let alone
I don't know. I'm lazy now, and having just moved, I don't want fucking anything.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I get it. I trade most things in if I have anything left, and at this point, I'm just kind of reduced to fucking digital codes.
You only have one.
So.
With this, just one.
Yeah.
You just cycle
just one
at
a time until they close.
Well,
it's kind of amazing. Like I want to meet the economist that was like, this is sort of viable, and maybe you'll get some heads in the door.
I think they should just merge with Hot Topic.
You can get a Misfits t-shirt and a copy of Recore.
The Nightmare Before Christmas purse.
Yeah. No, I mean, look,
but we need that
economy,
copy Recore back. Just saying.
The economy of going to a store is not really so much a thing anymore, and that's been happening and changing. Like, you go to any shopping center and you'll see the places that have changed into what used to be a one store is now like a fucking furniture store that no one ever is in. So you can't understand why it's even actually there.
Piano stores.
Or like a vacuum store. You're like, what the?
I mean, it might be an opportunity for some of these stores to kind of combine brand names and create something completely new and interesting. Like it might be kind of rad. Like you can get like a fucking Sbarro pizza and a Misfits t-shirt and like your game subscription and maybe some other garbage. But you could just do it in one way, and they might have some like cross.
Is that
weird.
like a Brookstone already? Almost?
I mean, maybe they should add a Brookstone to it. It's like the sandwich topper. It's like the tortilla.
Schlemmer. Only you pay exorbitant prices for shit that nobody needs or wants.
This is the first game that was ever rented of this title.
You could pay $1,000 to have it for 2 days.
Oh my God.
Enjoy.
It's either that or you pay the $97,000 for your own personal submarine.
Oh, I imagine you've looked into it.
That sounds like Hammaker Schlemmer.
I'm trying to think back to like being a kid and riding the plane and there always
the Sky
be
Mall.
the Sky Mall, and there always
Yeah.
be some Hammaker Schlemmer fucking stupid cat. I can't even say it.
That's our second
That's
single
fine.
on the Aboriginal Vag Original.
But they bait you on the stuff. They're not even related to each other. It's like buy your personal submarine for $90,000 and get a yard sprinkler for your
Hey, that's right.
And
Here's an
get
R2
6
droid.
months of power up. GameStop.
Right.
Rent other people's shit games that they've dropped
That's a good
off.
deal. I guess I'll get a
pretty
submarine. I guess I'll get a submarine.
Yeah.
Was this same thing as like Xbox One X Project Scorpio Edition, preying on like the grandmamas getting gifts
right.
for
But
But
kidlets?
there's a Master Chief on the circuit board.
So
Just saying.
Riding a
A scorpion.
scorpion.
Yeah. I mean,
Scorpio,
scorpion.
yeah, I get
Right.
it.
Okay.
That's
Oh, God.
legit. You know, it really happened. I don't know.
Hashtag true story, bro.
Oh my god! Like I worked on the Xbox One. I didn't work on that one, so I can't say for sure.
Okay.
well, I get your tactile thing you're talking about, Erskine. Like, I'm that way with books
Yeah.
at present. Like, I prefer physical books, but we're moving into like the Gen Zers like have never had physical, or like we're gonna get to that generation that has never used them at all, so they don't know.
During my lunch break today, I was reading something. To your point, was about how technology is changing the way, like our spaces are, the way we live, like the way our physical spaces kind of like are designed and interact and stuff. And I think that's already been happening, obviously with books and with games, where it's like, you know, we're reading a tablet that has 100 books, or listening to songs that has 100,000 songs, you know, iPod, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is going to continue, and it's that same thing. It's going to change the way we do things, and unless it's a physical good, shops are going to kind of go by the wayside.
Can I ask a general question of everybody? Like, aside from like grocery stores or, you know, pharmacies, you know, like stuff, the stores you usually go to on normal day to day to get house stuff or you know, kid stuff like the Home Depots and stuff like that. What stores do you go to on some sort of regular experience to go shopping for something? That's not,
A bar, is that a store?
Kind of, yeah.
The booze store.
Yeah, I go there.
I do like the booze store, but that's not a regular thing.
regularly.
No,
Yeah.
not lately. No.
Yeah, okay.
But that's like I consider that like a regular life thing, like a grocery store.
I actually don't even.
Well, I was
going to
say grocery store because that's the only thing I
Amazon
go to.
Fresh.
we use
whatever.
Amazon Fresh, so we
Amazon
have
Fresh
all
is
our
going
groceries delivered.
I live in North Bend. It doesn't come out that far, so
Oh,
I have to go to
sorry,
the grocery
brah.
store.
We're
But
digital
there's no
for
Whole
grocery.
Foods. There's no PCC. I'm like,
What doesn't like
Safeway.
moose and elk deliver out there? Or?
no. I mean, there are elk. I drive by them every day. If I want one, I can go.
None of them come to your house and deliver
Yeah,
your
just like,
groceries.
"Here, kill me and eat me. It's fine.
You could
No.
you could put a little Amazon Fresh mule pack on one and then just like drive away and see what it would be.
That's right. It's
Your own little Pony
this elk
Express.
just kind of looks at me as I walk up and I throw on some ice packs on it, and I'm like, I'm preserving you for later. You know?
Pacific Northwest Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it though. Is there any stores that you really go into? Like you were talking about books.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
where do you like to get your books?
I went to Orcas Island like a week and a half ago, and I was like, "Oh, cute little independent bookstore, whatever the fuck, I'll go in that." And that is pretty much what I do, I guess. Or like I have my spots. Like I went to Boston this past weekend, and there's a bookstore I love there. But like,
Yeah, like I really love Pals.
oh yeah, Powell's, right?
fuck
Like
yeah.
there are those
Fuck
like
yeah.
cornerstone ones that maybe you grew up with, or just like that are epic. Like Powell's is like Beauty and the Beast library bookstore. But other than that, like I'm not going to pop over to Barnes & Noble with any
I like
regularity.
I like the experience of going to like actual game stores to buy like
Yeah,
board games, because I like
independent
supporting the
places.
Like
independent
Blue
places.
Mountain and Queen Anne or whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
Mox or you
Yeah,
know like
100%.
there's a bunch of them. There's just a bunch of them that are really cool, and
I love going to Mox just to see if anybody's playing Warhammer. Like, because they got the tables all out.
Yeah,
And
it's just cool to see how
somebody put
people
the time
play
into
those
that.
things.
That's fucking rad. Like, that's not me, but that's fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But it feels like the experience of going to those places there has to be some kind of experience associated with it, and that's what's attracting people. But I don't know. I think this is a sad day for GameStop. I think they're done.
Yeah. Well, is that part of like our general identity here for like typical people? Like support the local places.
Yeah,
Look, can I ask one last question before we move on? Roy, you used to work at a GameStop.
Yeah.
If you saw this come down the pipeline as a former employee, or even if you were working at a shop, like, how would you feel about it?
I don't know. That was like fucking. That was much more than a decade ago. Like,
I hear you.
I don't know.
as the local resident GameStop expert.
Yeah,
Yes.
apparently that's me now.
That still qualifies.
You know, we were using a DOS cash register when I was there. All right, so
Oh my
I'm not
God.
sure how much knowledge I have about the current state of the business.
/ open
No.
register / cash.
I just like the Blockbuster issue. It was so obvious that it was going to go under because there were other services that were better and more convenient, and they sat there and refused to acknowledge that it was happening. And this is what GameStop's doing. They're just constantly refusing to acknowledge the digital space.
Right.
Blockbuster, before it went out of business, did the blue box after the red box was already the most popular thing, and then they went out of business. And it was like, you know how fucking late you were to that
Yeah,
party?
too late, bro.
Like, GameStop right now is watching everyone buy these digital games, and if they had made a digital like gaming service like Steam or like tried to work on some kind of platform that like moved into that space, maybe they'd still be a company in the next like how many 2 months? Okay.
What year was that?
2 weeks.
What year was that?
What?
Blockbuster
I'm just saying, 2008, maybe 2008.
I don't know.
2008, 2009.
or like GameFly, right?
Because
Is like this-
2000 late.
Their primary competition. 2000 late.
GameFly.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Fergie. Yeah, I'm just saying.
GameFly was always like, you want to rent that game? We don't have it.
Here's the other thing, like five games down on your list that we can give you. Instead.
Checked out.
Can you imagine like the used game stock list of this? It's just going to be so sad.
Why?
Yeah.
For the record, I still use GameFly because I'm like, fuck it. I'll pay $15 a month. I have a bunch of games sent to me. But-
yeah, I mean, if you're playing them, then yeah, you're
But
using
I don't
it.
even know
But that
if
means
it
I don't.
exists
It's still a physical good, but it's not like I'm not going to the store for it.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
There you go. Oh God,
A Power Pass subscription. Yeah.
Power Up. Oh wait, no, Power Pass. Power Up rewards.
Maybe
Excuse me.
Maybe we should just steal the name. Like Power Pass could be Song 3 on Vagina Walkabout. Power Pass.
I got my Power Pass.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Are we doing
Power
this?
Puss.
That's what's.
Power Puss. Ugh.
I was gonna say it, but I felt like that would be weird coming from a guy. So.
I'm really
All right.
glad you got in before. Nice job.
Yeah.
Mostly I appreciate the alliteration, but yeah.
Man,
Oh my
this
God.
hit list is just filling it. We're writing this down, right?
Trying to write it
I-
down.
You're going to have an
You got
entire
3 album by the end of this.
track-to-track
Yeah.
album ready
Power
to go.
Puss, Vag Original. Got that Vag Original. All right, we're going to take a break on that, and then we'll come back soon with the lightning round, so stay tuned.
Bye.
For you, the listeners of the Cheat Codes podcast, Loot Crate is offering an opportunity to save 10% on any new subscription. Loot Crate is a monthly mystery crate service that delivers the best in geek and gaming gear, from collectibles, apparel, tech gadgets, art, and other epic goodies. Head over to trylootcrate.com/cheatcodes. That's trylootcrate.com/cheatcodes and enter the promo code BRIDGE10 for your 10% savings.
All right, panel, it's time for the lightning round. Here's how it works. We're going to take 2 quick topics and then give each member of the panel a minute to chime in, pretty much uninterrupted. At the end of each minute, Arroyo will award each panelist a quantity of points based on wit, hilarity, and ability to drive the Mako, which no one can. Spoiler alert. Scotland, it'll be up to you to give Arroyo a reward for his contribution.
Oh, it's going to be maybe the next song.
Oh yeah, the next Vagina Walkabout song.
Yeah.
So get hype. Power Puss. All right. I went for it. All right, first one. We've been pretty skeptical about movies based on video games on past shows.
For good reason.
Yeah, I mean, I recently watched Mortal Kombat and Super Mario Brothers, and they're not good. Is the most
Super Mario Brothers is amazing though. I love that movie.
Well, like if you're going for like, hey, let's watch a movie that we can laugh about, then yeah, for sure.
But
I
it's
would
not
say.
good.
But no, you're like your serious face. No. So as the line continues to blur between games and movies, Joe Burgett of Fansided brainstormed 15 video game-based movies he thinks would be a success. He mentions that Destiny has an expansive universe that perhaps could be fully explored in a film franchise, and Fallout, he says, could stand out with its unique atomic era aesthetic and capitalize on the strangely persistent zombie craze. I know, which I hate, obviously. So, for your minute, let's hear what you think still needs to happen for a video game movie to be good, or maybe which games on this list or off of this list could actually work and why. So, some of the games on the list, just FYI, like Uncharted was on there. Gods of War, that one. God of War, that's the one. Clearly, I'm very familiar with. Yeah, so who wants to kick us off? Erskine looks
Everybody's
ready.
looking at me. All right.
Yeah. Go for it.
Here's the thing about games getting turned into movies. This rarely works. And the reason we need to keep this in mind is because it's only happened recently once, and it hasn't been well done. And it wasn't a movie. It was a 6-part series, and it was called Castlevania. When you get somebody like Warren Ellis to write, and you get a bunch of producers from the guys who do like Adventure Time and everything else in their production company to come together to kind of do an homage or honor to this thing that they liked when they were kids. And I know nostalgia is kind of like a big thing right now, and it works. It's fine. I'm totally down with it. But Castlevania has been the best thing I've seen to come out of this. Games are like books. You can't necessarily do it justice with a 2-hour movie. Series is a better option. Maybe that's the direction we should go with, so that you have character development, that you have some plot devices, you have some turnabouts. My time's up.
Joe, I'd like to award you one lifted pinky as you say the game was better than the movie.
Pushing your glasses up, actually.
Okay, I kind of want to hop on after that because
All right, you're up.
All right. So yeah, no, I pretty much agree in that same aspect. I think games and the experience of games, I enjoy them because they're games. I mean, like, look, no one wants to watch a Warcraft movie, but Warcraft is kind of fun. It's just hands down, that's the way it is. You could make some of these stories into movies, but I just don't feel like they do any justice. I just keep ruining the other part of my childhood, which is comics and books. I mean, I feel like just ruining that part is enough. At least those are stories that have existing structured characters and storylines to follow, whereas video games, the enjoyment is the kind of choosing your own thing and when not to see Mario's nipples or when and when not to see, different characters doing different things. The movie, the Super Mario one, there was a lot of cool people involved in that process, but it still sucked. So it doesn't matter how amazing they are, the movies still suck.
Good use of a minute. It was
Nice,
perfect.
Unless you get like Resident Evil, right, where you get like 8 movies to tell your entire story, and then maybe.
No, it still sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I watch it, but it still sucks.
Why don't we just let's go with the happy medium? I will award you the Choose Your Own Adventure Final Destination movie.
Oh wow!
It's a real thing. If you didn't know that, but
What?
enjoy.
I'm intrigued.
They actually have a Choose Your Own Adventure movie that's coming out soon, where you actually vote inside the theater, and the majority.
I heard about this.
We talked about this on the last episode.
Oh
actually.
well,
yeah.
How to troll an entire movie experience in one shot.
Yeah, you bring all your friends and you
That's
vote
exactly
for the
what it
bad
is.
shit.
Yeah, don't. Nope, we did it. It's cool. I'm just saying.
I know.
All right. Arroyo, go for it.
What? Oh,
Yes.
they should really make a Prince of Persia movie. Oh wait, no, they should really make an Assassin's Creed movie. Oh wait, they should really make a Street Fighter movie. Damn, they should make a Mortal Kombat movie. Damn it. I don't want any of them. I just don't.
Keep going.
What? No.
Could go on for a while, certainly.
Pixels sounds good. Maybe a game that's about games, but not really, and has all of them, but everything about it sucks.
Like
Oh, one of
Wreck-It
those movies.
Ralph, though?
Yeah.
Like that Adam Sandler
Right.
I'm
movie?
interrupting you. Sorry. Okay. Ugh.
Wreck-It Ralph, yeah, was the closest thing I could think of. I don't know. Yeah, we'll stick to like ruining books. Like, I don't know. How about a Goosebumps movie? Oh, fuck. I don't know. That's all I don't really want to see one, so I'm not going to name a real one that I want to see.
R.L. Stein.
Don't encourage it.
Okay, all right. So awards. Since you don't really want to see it, and I kind of feel like we're in the same place, I'm going to award you track 6, which is called Pixelated Vagina.
There we go.
So you don't really get to see it. It's just too pixelated.
You can't make it out, bro, but trust that it's great, yo.
Oh, yeah. This songs just
Terrible.
write themselves.
Terrible.
Like, we need to sit down and get together and do this.
Pixelated vagina.
I feel like we'll have
That
better
mosaic.
success. Like,
Mosaic filter.
Yeah. Good old mosaic.
I mean, you could also make it a mosaic vagina. That's just up to you.
Yeah, choose your own vagina.
Choose your own vagina. That's another song.
Oh, that's great. So, man, you get the award, but you keep giving awards. That
my
is track
God.
7.
I'm going to mark it as 7 so we remember. Okay.
Mark it as 7. Make sure it's
Yeah.
7.
Make it a hard. It's got to be 7. It's important.
You'll need to have a meeting if you want to rearrange the song order.
Because people totally buy the whole album now. All right. So I'll go ahead. There are a lot of mistakes happening here, right? Y'all have covered some issues that we've seen here. I mean, with Assassin's Creed last year, it bombed. But what they tried to do was set it in universe, but not use existing main characters, use some side characters. But if you want to cash in on the nostalgia that Erskine mentioned, then you have to put like fucking Ezio in there, right? So I don't think that's going to really help, unfortunately. I'd love to see Last of Us. Like super quality, or like Witcher 3, or even Until Dawn, and something that like Last of Us and Witcher 3 especially have is, I mean, there's a set protagonist. You don't get to customize as much, besides like haircuts and stuff. But I think that's like easier to tame and control as far as like directing the story. And then Until Dawn, we could even see, like, we talked about movies starting to have like your own choose your own adventure options, and Until Dawn I think would be like a really fun time to do that. And I was thinking also, like, what do book adaptations, like, why are they working? Or at least some of them work well. And in part, it's like you have people writing them who are good storytellers, which is often not true of games, unfortunately. It's getting better, I think. But so that's partly why I think Uncharted could be really good, like potentially be really good, because like Amy Hennig is like amazing, like a really good writer. So maybe that one could work out, especially if she's like super involved. I don't know if she's a screenwriter per se, but maybe.
The games are written like films already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say
I know. I kind of hate it on the video game movies too, but I would be really happy with a Mass Effect movie.
Oh God, yes.
Just a mini series.
Honestly, and you know what makes me feel good about that exact suggestion is Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah,
Feels like,
it does feel like that a little bit.
no, I just feel like that's a kind of a template, and if you just kind of like skin Mass Effect to that, it would be,
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
so
it'd
dope.
be all right.
All right, and quick awards because we got to move on.
shit. What do you want? I was trying to think of another title
Yeah.
for a track but
To
I
have
couldn't-
Star Trek
couldn't come up
Discovery
with
be reskinned as Mass Effect. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Now it's like getting into sexist territory. I'm not going to go there. There's some very beautiful women in Witcher 3. If you could set up a date with Yennefer, that'd be great.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ugh,
Really?
so pretty.
All right.
And
Track
she's
8.
really talented.
Discovery.
Yeah.
It's a simple one. The
Be
one
with
where
me.
No,
Yennefer.
that's track 8. Yennefer date.
Yennefer date.
Yennefer
Come
date,
on.
Track 8. And that has to be a lyric in it. This is track 8.
This
Yennefer
is
date.
Yennefer date.
Like, I am so down
One,
with
two,
Yennefer
three,
date.
four. Yeah.
Yennefer date. Okay.
No, it's more like a punk rock song. You just
That's
yell
exactly
it.
what
It's
it is. Yeah.
This is track 8. Yennefer date.
Oh, also, if you have those lyrics in there, it's definitely not the 8th track on the album. It's
Yeah.
like track 9.
Or 11.
It's a hidden track.
Yeah.
Fuck, what?
Oh my God. Okay.
Perfect.
Onward. Number 2 here. Horror fiction seems to always be popular. From the return of the anthology TV series format in the form of American Horror Story and Black Mirror to that ever-growing and murder-inspiring creepypasta collection. Yikes. So it's no wonder that MIT researchers developed an AI to churn out some horror fic.
Super spoopy.
Super spoopy. So Shelley AI has been trained to create original horror microfiction, just stories under 300 words, by looking at a mix of classic horror literature, spooky stories from a subreddit, and relevant Twitter fodder.
Why go to Reddit?
Which, lol, working on the Cortana team, I will tell you this presents problems sometimes. So anyway, an example, though, of something Shelley AI wrote. So she fell to the floor from her cries and muttered a soft, "Come to me." He stood rooted with fear. She slowly crawled spider-like towards him and started shrieking, "No escape, nowhere to hide."
It's kind of frightening.
Just the spider-like thing got me. That's like why I needed to pick this one, because that's like the one part of The Exorcist that scared me. Mm-hmm. But that's our example. And now we need to move on with this description.
Sorry, I was rereading it.
I guess there's
You're
no
like,
rush.
how long do I have to stall before he scrolls the prompter? I'm like, excuse me, I'm trying to read.
For everyone at home, that was a brief glimpse behind the fourth wall here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Okay, so that was kind of creepy, not bad. It's certainly a compelling start. There's AI out there that can compose original music and write screenplays too, but I mean, like, are they good? And so questions, how do we define good when developing creative AI? And how far away are we from replacing human creatives with AI? Why are we doing this? Said the increasingly concerned creative who was not at all biased. Help.
Oh boy.
All right, legit, I'm ready.
Go for it.
All right, so AIs are cool, and I'm all for weird, wacky nonsense like this, because honestly, a lot of creators out there that make some video game movies and other stuff make garbage. So it's hard to tell the difference between AI stuff and garbage because some of it's garbage. Yeah. Take a look at any of the there's a bunch of books on Amazon that are just complete and utter romance garbage, and they're not written very well, and a lot of people like them. So why not let AI do things? Because it's fun. Let's see what they actually make and create, because that's actually people creating as well. People create the AIs make stuff. We see the AIs with different information. So I don't know. It's kind of neat and interesting. I mean, we won't get to the Star Trek pre-generated holodeck stuff unless we muck around with the AI stuff that makes stupid stories. So I'm all for it. I'm excited by it, but not too excited.
Cautiously excited.
Cautiously excited.
I would like to award you one AI-written novel, The Curse of the Trash Witch. Hint:
Trash Panda Witch.
It's garbage.
I'm so excited. That would be an amazing story. I'm just saying because I'm in it. But
So obviously.
Is Trash Witch one of the tracks? Is that not one?
Oh, yeah.
Trash Panda Witch.
it should,
Trash-
it should be Trash Bitch.
Trash bitch.
Or
there
Trash
we go.
Pitch. Okay, fine.
No.
I'm going to stop trying to shoot
This is like a punk album now.
Yeah. I love how this worked out. This is great.
You're like my favorite human.
Oh, you are.
That was beautiful.
We're having a band,
Yeah.
bonding moment.
A band is being formed as we speak.
gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. And
It's
now we'll
amazing.
be able to trace it back to the Genesis always.
This is amazing.
Oh my Lord. Okay, I'll go in. I'll do it.
Okay.
Here we go. So I saw a while back, there's a I think it was like Forbes or some shit, some reputable publication provided estimates about which careers are going to be made obsolete by AI in the next 50 years. And among the lowest, like, percentage chance of being made obsolete, I saw it was like writers, like creative folk, because it's like, yes, they can churn out writing technically, but like, it's not good is sort of like their conclusion. So how can we tell if it's good? I don't really know. It's like, I feel like it's forever a subjective thing, but part of it, I mean, even that little snippet we read, like, there were some creepy elements, but like cohesive, not really. Like, yeah. So we'll see. And also, Scotland bringing up TNG reminded me that there's an episode, at least one episode, where Data tries to create like a cool Sherlock Holmes story, or like an original one, for him to play out with Geordi. And he just, like, a huge part of the episode is he tries and just can't. All he does is he recycles pieces of different ones and kind of mashes them together, but it's still not, like, nothing original comes out of it. Still, every time Geordi's like, oh, well, that's from this story, like, I want to do a new one, and Data can't do it. And Data's super sophisticated, right? So if he can't do it,
No one can. Star Trek is real.
Yeah,
But then
fast.
didn't the Sherlock Holmes the Moriarty tried to kill them or something?
Yeah, he breaks out of the holodeck, or
That was
Or they try to, but that's when they meet their doom because they can't exist outside of the holodeck.
yeah.
So
Watch the episodes.
For the coming AI apocalypse, I'd like to award you something old school. You can order your very own from Hammaker Schlemmer. Shakespeare Monkey comes with a free typewriter
Oh my god!
and
yes.
a yard sprinkler.
That's really good.
Nice. I thought you were going to say the clapper, where it's like you can just turn off the horrible
No,
AI
that's-
with a couple claps.
That's track 12.
The clapper.
And like,
Oh my god!
Take that any way you want.
Clam clapper.
Oh, okay.
again, you're just proving why you're my favorite human.
Love you.
Love you lots.
Okay. All right, Erskine.
Food dinner,
Help
you're
us.
a winner.
Oh my
God.
Special guest.
Clap my clam. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh wow.
There's definitely a clap breakdown in that for sure.
Here's the fun thing about AI, and the fun thing about AI is it's still under our control, right? Like we're all so worried about how that it's going to take over humanity. Blah 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 blah. Let's have fucking fun with it. Let's see what it comes up with. And this is actually one of the best examples of it because I've seen the movies that actually got made based on the scripts, like the Middle Ditch, the guy from Silicon Valley acted out that whole movie that was written by an AI.
Right.
And there was another one with David Hasselhoff, which was like an existential crisis and that kind of stuff. And that was. It's cool that somebody put that veneer of polish on it, but it was still kind of garbage. You know what I mean? But they leaned into it, which is kind of fun. You know what I mean? And this is the same thing with Shelley. Like there are these 300-word scenes that are short and sweet, but this has actually been like the best kind of version of a capable AI I've seen so far. Yes, not great, but better. You know what I mean? So we're getting there, and this is to me is like, I don't necessarily need people. Or AIs, for that matter, like doing other people's jobs, but it's kind of fun to see what comes up with, and that's I don't know, it's exciting, it's interesting. We're playing God, and it's gonna bite us in the ass, and there's no one's stopping this train at this point. So I welcome our inevitability with open arms. That's why I had 2 kids.
I would like to award you your very first AI companion, but it's David Hasselhoff.
Does it come with the car with Knight Rider?
No, it's actually David Hasselhoff, but he's just
really?
pretending to be
Just being
AI.
his like normal
Yeah.
everyday self, eating a sandwich and being drunk and shit.
Yeah. Like demolishing a cheeseburger with his gums.
laying
like,
in state. Yeah,
It's just so weird. It's just like, hello, Joe.
I'm not real, I promise.
Pre-programmed response too.
Hasselhoff.
What do you want to do today?
Check the perm. No, yeah.
Would you like to hear a song? Hey,
Is it in German? Is it in
Listen.
German? I want it to be in German. I want to get the full experience. He's very
my
popular
God.
in Germany, I'm told.
He is.
All right.
All right.
No,
Take us
hey,
home,
okay.
please.
Wait.
I'll keep it.
Oh, did you get? Okay.
Yep.
I'll keep it brief. Actually, I want to see the marriage between the two, like somewhere. Think Mad Libs with a little more AI invention. So
Nice.
instead of it ripping
Right.
off content from the likes of places like for fuck all. I don't know why they keep doing this. Twitter and Reddit. I don't like. Maybe we feed it in. Maybe it gives you like 4 or 5 prompts. And you put in, butts and farts because you're, 12, and then it spits out some.
fun.
Yeah, and then it spits out something a little more than just that. I mean, I think that would actually be kind of cool to see what it comes up with, especially if you're having like maybe some severe writer's block, like 3 weeks in, and you give it like some really cool, like distinctive phrase that you were working out, and it sort of maybe doesn't finish it for you, but it can possibly unblock you, and that would be pretty awesome.
This is like Her, the Joaquin Phoenix.
I
Scarlett
really like
Johansson.
that. I really like that movie.
I do too. Spike Jonze is
Oh,
great.
there's something to be said for getting like some inspiration from whatever it spits out, though. That's kind of
That
cool.
feels like a very like as a creative.
But I
amongst
Let's work
creatives.
together. Yeah.
Do you remember? Well, I got to
Sorry.
award you an award.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is really hard because I feel like that was really thoughtful and insightful.
And you don't want to undermine that.
I
Banish
don't-
him to Twitter.
I don't really. I mean, I'm gonna go old school here. I'm gonna award you something from a film that has a lot of powerful
Film.
meaning. It's a
Rosebud.
grocery bag blowing in the wind
Oh God.
so beautifully that you're stumped by it. You're mesmerized by it.
And I think that's the last track. It's called
Yeah,
American Pootie.
And then, but then when you see that bag, hang on, the war's not done. The war's not done. The war's not done. So when you see that bag and you see the beauty in it, you're having that realization, and it's just like, wow, this is amazing. This is what life is like. You realize that whole scene was written by AI.
Oh. Damn, that makes me sad. I'm gonna go film a guy dying in the cold so I can feel better about myself.
And throw plastic bags at him.
On that
Like,
note,
dance, motherfucker, dance! Like, no.
but okay, wait. So before we take off, are you familiar with the AIs that were talking to each other in some kind of AI speak?
Yeah.
The project
To
that they
me,
had
to me,
shut
to me,
down.
to me.
Yeah.
So I want to see a story written by AIs for other AIs. I want to read that.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
God.
kind of
They were rough.
like
It'd be a fun
scary
read,
and
but-
wonderful.
To me, spider leg, crawl, face. To me, like it's gonna be amazing.
Oh,
I do want to.
Shelley AI.
Shelley
you got your-
AI book club.
You got your work cut out for you. 'Cause that sounds fucking horrifying.
Just get ready for your lorem ipsum. It's about to get real.
That's when they make the Shelley AI and the King AI, and they both like try and write a horror novel together.
Fucking Tay, dude. Remember the fucking Tay Twitter account
Yeah.
from Microsoft?
Oh, yeah.
When it was like, hey, yeah, Hitler's cool and smoking weed's great. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like,
Crawling on the floor with 6 legs.
that's horrific.
To me.
Oh my god.
You can make that the last vagina track, too.
Yeah, there you go.
To me.
It's good.
American Pootie. To me,
Parentheses,
to
reprise.
me.
'Cause that's how you end an album.
And there's no action. There was no
There
original
was no
one.
original.
No,
Yeah.
so why would it be reprised? But, yeah.
Sorry. All right. There's only one ending possible in which I, Commander Shepard, stay alive. So I'm going to just call it. Episode 155 is over. So thanks for coming back to the show, Scotland.
Yes,
So
thank
much
you.
for having me.
I'm so
hopefully
psyched.
you'll have me again because
Oh yeah,
I'm just ridiculous.
we'll perform the album at the next.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
We'll give you some samples of the sweet tracks from Vagina Walkabout.
I'm totally gonna Photoshop us an album cover and everything. But you're not actually gonna get the CD. You're gonna get a piece of paper in there with a download
I'll
code.
sell you the CD case,
Oh, such
but
a
you
good
won't get a
callback.
copy of the
You,
CD.
you get a download code on a piece of paper.
Perfect.
Oh my god! And you have to correctly identify all the different parts of the vagina, of female genitals.
Well,
to
the
get
download
it.
code is actually just a part of the accurate description of the vagina. So you have to like view it to get in there and see it.
Exactly.
Like, they're just not. They're just like totally.
I'm thinking this is going to be more of a multi-album series where they
Yeah.
put them together and you get one picture of a vagina after
It's a
you
box
buy all
set.
6
It's
records.
a box
Yeah.
set. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it all comes together. Oh, okay. And your Twitter again.
at level the number 2, 3.
3. So check it out.
On
All
the
the
Twitterverse.
greatest hits from Vagina Walkabout coming soon.
Probably not.
And that's the last time I'll say that. So thank you, dear listener, for fighting for truth, justice, and basic survival across the galaxy with us for an hour.
I would like to have a cigarette with Martin Sheen at some point, though. Okay. I'm just saying.
I should have just made you the elusive man. I'm sorry. I kind of regret it now. But next time we can do Mass Effect again, always. So please hit us up at cheatcodespodcast.com on Facebook and on Twitter and get in on the conversation. If you tweeted us, we'll probably tweet right back at you. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon page. You too can become a patron for as little as 2 credits.
Yeah.
You know, currency in Mass Effect because the theme is Mass Effect.
It's like 4,000 bolivars.
Oh,
Venezuelan.
Oh, my
Or
God.
whatever the currency is.
my heart. Oh, like 50 cents USD. Oh.
And we'll donate it all to Venezuela.
Yeah.
No?
Actually,
Can I not say
though,
that?
like,
I'm not gonna say that.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
little,
Sorry.
it's like the beaches of Normandy. We're not there yet. So, thanks to
So many
Ending on
callbacks.
Darkness, Jesus.
So many callbacks.
Thanks to everyone who's jumped on board so far, and we'll see you next week. So, Arroyo,
What?
you're Commander Shepard now.
I'm sorry. I know that was important, but you performed Gilbert and Sullivan. Question?
I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. I've studied species Turian, Asari, and Batarian. I'm quite good at genetics as a subset of biology because I am an expert, which I know is a tautology. My xenoscience studies range from urban to agrarian. I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. That's
We're done. We did it.
We did it.
that's it.
Vagina
Yay.
Walkabout album dropping hot soon. Keep
soon,
your eyes
get it
out.
soon at
Singles
stores.
coming to Spotify.
Got
It
my
is
clam.
seasonal-
Thank you, ma'am.
Seasonal storage. What is it? Seasonal loot crate.
Say what, son? Say what? All right.
Get it. Coming to a street corner near you. Goodbye.
Power plus.
Hashtag Runescape.
Is that our Riot Girl band that we're starting?
Vagina Walkabout.
Yeah.
Do you all sing in Australian accents?
Vagina Walkabout.
Yeah, it's epic.
It's epic. Yeah, that's
Epic
good.
vagina. Heaps of fun.
Aboriginal, Vag-original? No.
Nope.
Nope.
No, that's track 2. That's track 2. Vag original.
Or is it, it's a B-side. It's like, we rejected
I'm
this
so
one.
glad you heard our song. I mean, not too many people like that song because it's kind of a B-side song.
Okay.
Vag original.
Wow.
I can't
start.
clit you. Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, that was the best bomb joke ever.